I think he is a career predator.
New at 6 o'clock from the 8 News Now investigators, strong, heartfelt comments from the daughter of a murder victim. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Ozzy Mora. The victim's daughter was the prosecution's star witness on the day one of the so-called Black Widower trial.
8 News Now investigator Kyle Payne has this exclusive interview tonight, the only local journalist covering the trial. Kyle?
Ozzy and Denise, the prosecutor says Thomas Randolph tried to plan the perfect murder, but his motive to marry his late wife, have her killed, and run off with the insurance money didn't fool police. And today they called the victim's daughter to the stand.
Thomas Randolph.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you point to him and describe what he's wearing today?
He's right there. He's wearing a white shirt.
Colleen Byer, just feet away from the man she and prosecutors say is responsible for her mother's violent murder in 2008.
What was your mom's reaction emotionally?
She was very distraught and upset.
At Thomas Randolph's second trial for the murder of his sixth wife, Sharon Randolph, prosecutors say he conspired with his friend and purported handyman, Michael Miller, to have Miller kill his wife. Prosecutors say Randolph then killed Miller and tried to make it look like a robbery.
All of Sharon Randolph's jewelry stuffed into those bags and in and around them where they had fallen to the ground as he lay there dying.
Sharon Randolph and Miller were found shot to death in Randolph's home in northwest Las Vegas. Randolph is being retried because the Nevada Supreme Court says the first jury in 2017 never should have heard a word about his being a suspect in another one of those wives' deaths.
It will be very, very clear that it is very, very, very hard to plan the perfect murder. And at the end of the day, the defendant's story doesn't add up. And at the conclusion of this trial, we will ask you to find that man guilty for conspiring with Mr. Miller to kill his wife, and then ultimately finding him guilty for that murder as well as the murder of Michael Miller when he double-crosses him.
Prosecutors used voice messages from Thomas Randolph to Colleen Byer after the murder, when Byer was trying to enforce her mother's will and excluding Randolph from the sale of that home.
You went to court on your own, didn't you?
Yes.
And after her long day of testimony, she came to speak exclusively to the 8 News Now investigators to say what she couldn't tell on the stand.
I dislike him greatly. I don't trust him. I think he is a con artist. And this is how he makes a living. This is his practice and what he does to women.
Byer and her loved ones, seeking justice for Sharon Randolph for 15 years now, are ready for this to come to a close. And she'd know exactly how she'd like this long journey to end.
I hope he stays in prison forever, and he was not allowed to get out. I think he's a liar.
The lawyers say this case should last about 3 weeks. The prosecution picks up its case again Monday.